Auditrice Omidvar, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Chair. I neglected to mention I don't normally occupy a chair in this committee. I'm subbing for my colleague, Senator Pat Duncan, who's much more uh, uh, knowledgeable about these issues. But even as I sit here, I notice the intersectionality between the works of our committee. And we talk about intersectionality in data, but I think actually committees need to at some point meet together and figure out the intersectionality. So I'll continue to focus on GBA plus. And this is a question to Mr. Hayes. I think you mentioned that one of your next audits will be on public transportation in the ICP. Can I assume that GBA plus will be embedded in this audit because public transportation either enables people to live a full life or it prevents them from doing so? And I think I'd like to focus on the prevention part.
Yes, absolutely. GBA plus will be part of that audit, 100%.
And again, since I'm not a member of this committee, I don't have the institutional knowledge. I want to shift to the Canada Infrastructure Bank, which is also part of this infrastructure ecosystem that we have. Has the AG done an audit on the infrastructure bank? And if not, are you planning to do one?
Canadian Infrastructure Bank is a Crown Corporation.
Yes.
We were appointed the financial auditors, and we have been doing the financial audit since the beginning, the creation of the Infrastructure Bank. I believe the last year audited, there were not many initiatives yet funded through the Infrastructure Bank. So from a financial aspect, there isn't much going on. Because it is a parent Crown corporation, it will be subject to a special examination, which is the equivalent of a performance audit on the tools, the practices, and processes around safeguarding the assets and delivering on the mandate once in 10 years. So it's really too early, I think, to go in and do that right now when there really isn't a lot of activity. But at some point, we will get around to doing the special exam before that 10-year horizon.
So very quickly, Chair, have you ever done an audit on the governance of Crown corporations, who the governors are, whether they have competencies, whether they represent the people of Canada, the regions, minorities, etc.?
I'm going to turn to Martin Dompierre to add to this, but in every financial audit, we always look at the governance and the composition of the board of directors and so on. But I'll let Martin talk a little bit more about.
So not much to add more to what Karen just said in terms of that's one of the focal point of the audit that we perform. We look at the governance, the composition of the board, and how they are appointed, the cycles in terms of when they are being appointed and so on. So this definitely is something that we look at in every special examination report that we do.
It's siloed to every Crown corporation as opposed to a global audit on governance, which is what I'm trying to recommend to you. Thank you. My time.
If I may, Mr. Chair, while it is siloed because we go into every Crown on an annual basis, we do have a summary of some of our special examinations that are coming out, and they will summarize common themes over the last I think there's about a dozen or so special exams in there, and governance is coming through as an issue of concern. And so I think that'll be coming out in November.
Yeah, I don't remember when the next one is, but the last one raised issues around risk management, risk identification, appointment of members, GIC appointments, and general corporate governance issues that we found across them.
Thank you. Before we move on to